Hi everyone, welcome to Freesat Spares. I thought I'd quickly go over the technical information about the satellite beams that come down from the satellites up in space. Yeah, lots of specialists in this area, but what happens if you're in a camper van and travelling around? Well, generally, if you just want a little bit of TV that's in English and you have no subscription, you're just looking for free to air, you want to be pointing your satellite probably just so you can watch the news and things at something like Hotbird at 13 degree east, because these satellites they've got a really broad signal. You generally need a smaller dish, and they carry channels such as CNN, Sky News International, BBC World Service if it's still broadcasting, and loads. I mean, there's hundreds of English speaking radio channels as well, and you have the option with a lot of these signals, these television stations throughout Spain and France. If it's an American film, for example, you will be able to watch or switch the language from English, from the dubbed language, the French, the Spanish, to the original English or American. So this tool is really good for giving us a general idea of what we might be able to receive. But we're going to need another tool to help us, and that's where another website I use comes in. The other satellite that's quite good for English and worldwide TV within Europe is 19 East. This is Astral 1. So we've got at 13, if you want some general TV, it will mainly be news channels with a few entertainment channels such as fashion TV. Again, this is if you're using your small antenna on your caravan. That's what we're talking about here. And then at 19 degrees, we need a slightly bigger dish, but a really good signal across Spain, Europe, and most of mainland Europe, Italy. Again, it's similar there's a similar free selection of channels than what's on 13 East. And if you are a little bit closer to the UK and you want proper UK TV, you should be able to get something, even on a smaller dish, on 28 East, which is Freesat and Sky for the UK. Like I said, you may not be able to receive everything, and if you've got a Sky TV box that automatically tunes the channels, or a Freesat TV box that automatically tunes the channels, you may not be able to receive anything at all, because it cannot receive the core signal for the channel list. I'm not going to go too much into that, but basically it needs that base signal to set up the box to make sure the EPG, or electronic program guide, is correct. So what do we do? Well, definitely get a satellite box from a company like Technomate. If you're in these outlying areas, it would just what we call do a blind scan and get hold of any channel that's being transmitted, scrambled or free to air. It won't unlock scrambled channels, it will just pick up that there is a station there. Anyway, moving on to the second tool. So once you've figured out what you might want to point your satellite dish at, what you can do then is figure out what channels you might be able to receive on there. So for that, I'm just going to pause the video and flip over. Okay, this is Langsat, or Lingsat, depending on how you want to pronounce it. This website, I'll put the links in the description, of course. This website shows you all the satellites that are up in the sky and all the active transponders and channels that are transmitting. Transponders, for most people, is just a group of channels, and a transponder has a frequency. So there's a few different systems that satellites use. Q-band is one of the most popular, and that's certainly what we use in the UK. When I say that's KU band. So if we want to find what channels are on a particular satellite, we can find. So if we find 28 East, here we are. So these are all the satellites here. They're all Q-band, and then you've got C-band. As you can see here, they're all coloured differently. We can either pick a satellite or we can pick the whole group. So let's go for 2E. As we can see here, we've got the frequency it's broadcast at, the technical information for audio and video stream. So DVB-S is standard definition broadcasts. DVB-S2 is high definition broadcasts. So we can see here on this satellite, which is 2E, Astra 2E, we've got some FreeSat broadcasts, we've got Sky broadcasts. Yeah, and that's basically all that's on there. And then there's there's certain channels that broadcast in completely their own realm and are receivable either on specialist equipment or on any equipment. If you want to know what the color coding means, all you need to do is look at the bottom of the page. Yes, bottom of the page. Here we go. So here we are. Green means it's Q-band, it's HD, and it's clear. And by clear, they mean unencrypted. It's free to air. It's FreeSat. So then yellow is C-band, is standard definition, is clear. So again, free to air and is, standard definition. The orangey colour is outside of footprint, encrypted, which means sky basically on this page. And then there's these other colours which don't really come up that much. The unavailable just means someone found a signal, they're not sure what it is. And the pink one is it won't be available, or it's doing some sort of specialist job, like the racing channel, it seems. I've never watched this. Oh, the Racing Partnership. So chances are that's a specialist service, possibly rebroadcasting the races, horse racing from around the country, the world, back to betting shops, I would assume. I don't know, I'm just assuming. And so we use the combination of sat beams and Lingsat to find out what we can receive. It is a bit daunting the first time you look at it. But if you are going travelling and you want to keep up with the news and information that's coming out of your home country, then this is something that's going to be a really useful tool. Because when you're using a satellite box to scan for signals, sometimes it's good to know these frequencies that you are sure are going to be there, rather than spending the time of doing something called a blind search on the box, where it will sit there for 10 minutes checking every single frequency from 10000 and then 10001 and then 10002. It doesn't quite do that, but you get the meaning. It takes quite a while to do. So this is a short introduction into great tools to use when you're traveling around, or if you're an expat living abroad. I would definitely recommend, if you find that you have set up your own dish in a permanent location, like the south of Spain, for example, and you're not getting a signal. I've done this myself. You get a local expert who really knows what equipment is best for that area. They're worth their weight in gold for that sort of thing. There's lots of ways of watching English telly. I can tell you, like at 26 Degrees East, which is mainly channels for the Middle East and Africa, they have loads of English content. You just have to get specialist viewing cards to be able to watch it, and it'd be all your favourite American English programming. You just have to get an access card to use it. So it takes a bit of playing. France has Canal Plus, which has absolutely tons of original English content on it, and I know loads of people in France who just subscribe to that, and obviously just watch Sky News to get English news. Not that it's any good. I mean, you can watch channels like Euronews. Anyway, this little video hopefully will be part of I'll go into more in-depth details about how we can use these online tools and combine them with the tools to set up our equipment in our camper vans or homes. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Our website's Freesat Spares. If you need parts, we do ship to Europe. just head on over there, freesatspares.co.uk.